Bruce.
Bruce!
Bruce is dead. I watched him die.
My God. He's the one who died that night in the alley. Bruce died, and you lived. You're his father. You're Thomas Wayne.
What's up, guys? Farooqi Bros here, back with another video. And today for you guys, we're going to be talking about the news that just dropped, that the Flash movie will indeed be a Flashpoint film. And the two big castings so far are that Ray Fisher will be back as Cyborg. And then the big one is that Jeffery Dean Morgan is in talks to reprise his role as Thomas Wayne / Batman in the movie as well. So obviously this is big stuff, and we're going to go through kind of all of our thoughts. The first thing is that obviously this is just more proof that the DCEU is back, you know, in the sense that the company, especially because AT&T has purchased Warner Brothers, that they're very much committed to that idea of a cinematic universe. As you guys know, in 2018 and 2019, that wasn't the case, you know, and there was this idea to really focus on the worlds of DC, and that every universe, every character is in their own little world with loose connections to the bigger world, but nothing too over-connected. But if you're making a Flashpoint movie and you're bringing in Ray Fisher and you're bringing in Jeffery Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne, obviously you have very much connected yourself back to that 2016 Batman v Superman kind of timeline. So we'll just get right to it. I'll ask Jan first. Like, what did you think about the news, and are you excited more now for the Flash film that they're going in this direction?
Well, obviously, it's great to hear that people like Jeffery Dean Morgan and especially Ray Fisher, they're back in their respective roles. And I think in terms of Flash movie, if you ask anybody, they'd say they'd want to see Flashpoint because of how big of an event film it is and how insane and how big of a venture it is. It would just be amazing to see. As far as the implications are for the universe, of course, like you said, it means they're tying it back together to what Zack Snyder set up. But then again, the story of Flashpoint is that everything gets rewritten. So what will it be going forward? Will it be after this? Yet to see. And of course, then there's talks about, like, can they bridge it to Matt Reeves' Batman? Will that be the new Batman of DCEU? Will they use Flashpoint to connect all these separate other entities together? Or is it just a Flashpoint within the DCEU, within like Aquaman and Wonder Woman and the current slate of films they have in production? Aside from that, story-wise, it's going to be sick to see Ezra Miller. We all love him as Flash, and getting a more serious story, a more serious tone will definitely be great for him. And I'm just excited to see what they're going to do with it.
Yeah, I think from a narrative standpoint, it's going to be interesting to see which way they go. I think you have a lot of possibility with the Flash and him altering the timeline. So it would be cool to see, like, if they want to do a Robert Pattinson, like, what do you call it? They want to, like, kind of bridge that together. This is a chance to actually do that. And that possibility is what's kind of interesting with the Flash character. At the same time, it would be cool to see if they continue, because I mean, if the Snyder Cut comes out and it does well, you're probably gonna have a Justice League 2 on your hands. If the other films do well, then you have a chance. And then David Ayer, Suicide Squad. So you have like a bunch of things that are going on all at once. I'm interested to see like what the future looks like for the whole universe. Are they gonna tie together? Or are they not? Samir, what do you think about this whole Flashpoint thing?
I think that the animated movie was great. I'm sure we all loved it, right?
Yeah.
It'll be nice to see how they adapt it and finally get to see a live-action Thomas Wayne Batman, which will be great. What do you think about the animated one, Omer?
I think the animated one is sick. But I don't think they're going to go for that. I don't think they're going to go that crazy. Like, I don't think it's going to be like that.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm wondering if they have Jeffery Dean Morgan as this Batman, they're going to need Martha Wayne to be Joker in the film. So
that would be crazy.
I think it's a natural thing to cast both of them. If you got Jeffrey, bring in Laura. Got the full name, but she plays Martha, obviously. So getting them both will definitely be crazy. You know, again, it could be a way to bridge kind of the Batfleck story, because Ben Affleck's Batman we haven't gotten his full story, obviously. It's not like Superman where you had a solo movie, then you had, obviously, BVS, and he's kind of the defining thread of Snyder's story. But as we wait, because we know Zack Snyder's Justice is coming on HBO Max, and then if it does well, obviously, the sky's the limit with where it can go. But at the minimum, for the immediate, Ben Affleck's story is not fully fleshed out. So having his supporting characters, like his parents, play a role in Flashpoint, one as Batman, one as Joker, would honestly elevate the universe in a big way. From my understanding, it's not going to be a reboot setting. They're not trying to reboot. And from everything I've heard, that Matt Reeves' Batman has nothing to do with the DCU. And he's going with that Joker approach where he's doing something solo and it's not connected to anything. But we saw the CW obviously try Flashpoint, which did not reset the universe, just made certain changes but didn't reset anything. And honestly, speaking of the CW, I do think that small things like Ezra Miller showing up on that Crisis event plays into this. And it plays into what's happening right now. We know Ray Fisher's going to be in it. In that small sequence, he said, "Oh yeah, I told Ray this was possible." I feel like there's going to be some kind of back tie-in from the movie. Like I think they're going to try to bridge together the multiverse just a little bit more and establish all these DC worlds as somewhat connected. But I wouldn't expect, like, in the beginning of the film, it's him and Ben Affleck, and by the end of the film, it's him and Robert Pattinson. They're not going to do that. I think they would have done that maybe if Matt Reeves was down for it, which he's not, or if there was no such thing as the Snyder Cut. But because it's happening, I think they're not going to give up on Ben Affleck all the way just yet, just in case. Not that he's coming back. I haven't heard anything about him coming back for any kind of project outside of what Zack Snyder is doing. But AT&T wants to keep the options open, clearly. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But overall, go ahead.
So I mean, Ben Affleck signed on to do the Zack Snyder stuff. Like he was kind of excited to do. Obviously, what happened in his personal life and stuff is obviously connected because that's why he kind of walked away from Batman. But at the same time, he was like kind of excited to do the Zack Snyder 5-movie arc. And if they're going to continue that, you could easily have a Flashpoint thing in the middle of that. I'm guessing it's not going to be. I'm guessing it's not going to be. It's not Justice League 1, Justice League 2, Justice League 3, then Flashpoint. I'm guessing like Justice League 1, Flashpoint. Like it's gonna be somewhere in the middle, so you could fit something in the middle as well.
Yeah, I think
so it actually makes sense to, like, if you want to bring it back, if he wants to come back, come back, then it makes sense to like bring it back.
I hope they get a Flashpoint version of Superman.
Do you want to see it, or you don't think they're gonna do it?
I don't know, but I hope they do.
Here's the thing: like we can talk about another podcast also, but for this one, I think that we look at the THR article, was it THR or someone a couple of weeks back, where it said Henry Cavill's coming back, but just as for cameos and for secondary roles. He's not coming back for a solo just yet. And it said that, currently at the current scripts, he's not in the script for The Flash right now. But if you wanted to put Henry somewhere, you could put him in Flashpoint. Obviously, you have to CGI him like crazy to be that very thin and frail Superman that the Flashpoint Superman looks like. Because obviously, for those of you who don't know the story, in the Flashpoint universe, when Flash goes back to save his mother, everything messes up to the point where instead of landing in Kansas, he lands directly, like, was in a government building or even White House, I don't know. But wherever he landed, the government took him in and they just kind of kept him tortured and inside a red lamp room. So he never ended up becoming Superman, clearly. So he's just kind of this like alien, anorexic kind of guy. He's just in a cage. So obviously Henry Cavill doing that would be interesting. Obviously requires a lot of CGI work because he's obviously built. But let's see how it goes. Again, I think the fact that the Flashpoint movie is happening and that they're not getting away from that BVS Man of Steel continuity shows that there's something to look forward to. And there's genuine interest from the fans again, I think, in these kind of projects.
As long as Flash isn't making any more thirsty jokes. So.
Mm-hmm. That's the only way. No thirsty jokes, no falling on Wonder Woman, none of that. So what did you guys think about the news that just dropped? Are you interested in seeing a Flashpoint? Did you prefer to see just a Flash solo that's not going into all this universe building stuff? Let us know in the comments below. From myself, from Zion, from Umar, and from Samir, this is the Farooqi Brothers. We'll see you next time. Peace out.